A high-value woman knows that the more she understands her emotions, the better she can navigate life's challenges and opportunities. She doesn't let her emotions control her decisions, but instead she learns to manage them effectively. She practices mindfulness and self-reflection, understanding that emotional growth is just as important as intellectual growth. This emotional maturity allows her to make decisions from a place of clarity and calmness rather than reacting impulsively or being controlled by negative emotions. It helps her handle stress, confront difficulties, and build stronger, healthier relationships with herself and others. Investing in growth also involves cultivating a strong, positive mindset. A high-value woman understands that mindset is everything. If you don't believe in yourself or your ability to succeed, no amount of skill or knowledge will get you where you want to go. She consistently works on building her self-confidence, self-worth, and resilience. She practices positive thinking, affirmations, and visualization to keep herself focused on her goals and to remind herself of her capabilities. She understands that setbacks and failures are part of the journey and doesn't let them derail her. Instead, she views them as valuable lessons that contribute to her growth. Another vital aspect of investing in your growth is prioritizing your physical health. A high-value woman knows that her body is the vessel through which she experiences life. If she isn't taking care of her health, she isn't able to show up as her best self in any area of her life. She makes time for regular exercise, eats nutritious foods, and ensures she gets enough rest. She also takes care of her mental health by managing stress and seeking support when needed. Her well-being is a priority because she understands that when her body and mind are in balance, she can perform at her highest potential. A high-value woman also invests in her relationships, understanding that personal growth doesn't happen in isolation. She surrounds herself with people who inspire her, challenge her, and support her. She understands that relationships are a two-way street, and that growth requires mutual respect and understanding. She seeks out mentors, friends, and colleagues who share her values and who will help her stretch beyond her comfort zone. She is also willing to invest in her own emotional intelligence in her relationships, learning how to communicate better, manage conflict, and build deeper connections with the people around her. Professional growth is also a key area where a high-value woman invests her time and energy. She doesn't settle for a job or a position that doesn't fulfill her or challenge her. She seeks opportunities for advancement, and she's not afraid to take risks or step outside of her comfort zone when it comes to her career. She works hard to build her skill set, consistently looking for ways to expand her knowledge, learn new techniques, and develop expertise in her field. She understands that career growth doesn't happen by chance. It happens when you are intentional about your goals and when you take consistent action toward achieving them. Investing in your growth also involves cultivating a sense of purpose. A high-value woman doesn't drift through life without a clear direction. She has a vision for her future, and she works tirelessly to make that vision a reality. She knows that in order to achieve her dreams, she must first align her actions with her purpose. She sets goals that are in line with her values and her long-term vision, and she takes focused, purposeful steps every day to move closer to them. She doesn't waste time on distractions or things that don't serve her greater purpose. Every choice she makes is intentional and contributes to her growth. Lastly, investing in your growth requires patience and persistence. The journey of self-improvement is ongoing and often requires long-term dedication. A high-value woman understands that growth doesn't happen overnight, and she is willing to put in the work even when progress feels slow. She doesn't get discouraged by setbacks, but instead she uses them as fuel to keep going. She understands that every small step forward, no matter how insignificant it may seem, brings her closer to her ultimate goal. To invest in your growth is to commit to a lifetime of improvement and self-discovery. It's about becoming the woman you are capable of becoming, not settling for the status quo and never losing sight of the potential within you. Growth is not a destination, it is a way of life. And when you choose to invest in it fully, you are creating the foundation for a life that is abundant, fulfilling, and aligned with your highest potential. Protecting your energy is one of the most important aspects of maintaining a high-value mindset. Every day, you are exposed to a multitude of influences, people, environments, situations that can either uplift you or drain you. The choices you make about where you direct your focus and how you manage your energy can have a profound impact on your well-being, success, and overall happiness. A high-value woman understands this deeply and knows that her energy is her most valuable resource. She takes responsibility for how she feels, what she allows into her life, and how she invests her emotional, mental, and physical energy. The first step in protecting your energy is becoming aware of how it is being affected by the people and situations around you. Not everyone in your life is going to contribute positively to your growth and happiness, and it's essential to recognize when someone or something is draining you. This may be a friend who constantly complains or demands your attention without giving anything in return, a toxic relationship that leaves you emotionally exhausted, or a work environment that is stressful and negative. While it's not always possible to remove these situations completely, a high-value woman is selective about where she spends her time and with whom she chooses to interact. She understands that she cannot be everything to everyone, and she refuses to sacrifice her peace and well-being for others' drama or negativity. When you protect your energy, you are making a conscious decision to preserve your emotional balance. It's easy to get caught up in the hustle of life, always responding to the demands of others, chasing external goals, and neglecting your own needs. But a high-value woman knows that in order to show up as her best self in all aspects of her life, she must first ensure that she is taking care of her own energy. She doesn't overextend herself or agree to things that feel draining just out of obligation or guilt. She learns to say no when necessary, setting clear boundaries around her time, her space, and her emotional availability. Saying no is not an act of selfishness, but rather an act of self-preservation. It's a powerful reminder that your energy is not unlimited, and you have the right to guard it fiercely. Protecting your energy also means being mindful of the thoughts you allow to dominate your mind. Your mental state has a direct impact on your overall energy levels. Negative self-talk, worry, fear, and doubt are all energy-draining emotions that can leave you feeling depleted and disconnected from your true potential. A high-value woman practices mental discipline, training her mind to focus on the positive, on solutions rather than problems, and on what she can control rather than what she can't. She understands that her thoughts shape her reality and that by controlling them, she can preserve her mental energy and direct it toward creating the life she desires. Meditation, journaling, affirmations, and mindfulness are some of the tools a high-value woman might use to protect her mental energy and cultivate a mindset that supports her growth. It's also essential to protect your energy from external distractions and negativity. In today's digital age, we are constantly bombarded by information, news, and social media that can drain us emotionally and mentally. A high-value woman is mindful of what she consumes, both online and offline. She is selective about the content she engages with, understanding that what she feeds her mind can either inspire or deplete her. She avoids unnecessary drama, conflict, and negative conversations, especially when they don't serve her purpose or contribute positively to her life. By controlling what she exposes herself to, she keeps her energy clear and focused on what matters most. Another way a high-value woman protects her energy is by creating physical and emotional boundaries in her relationships. She understands that her relationships, whether romantic, familial, or professional, should be sources of support and nourishment, not sources of stress and turmoil. She refuses to stay in situations where she is not being respected, valued, or appreciated. This means that when someone's behavior crosses a boundary, she speaks up or removes herself from the situation, even if it's uncomfortable. She doesn't tolerate toxic behavior, manipulation, or emotional abuse. She knows that by allowing these kinds of interactions, she is compromising her own energy and ultimately diminishing her value. Protecting your energy in relationships is about demanding respect and kindness, not allowing yourself to be mistreated, and knowing when to walk away from people who drain you. Similarly, a high-value woman also knows how to recognize and avoid environments that deplete her energy. Whether it's a chaotic work environment, a social group that promotes negativity, or a physical space that feels cluttered or draining, she understands the importance of being mindful about where she spends her time. If she is in a situation that feels toxic or unsupportive, she takes steps to remove herself or set boundaries to protect her peace. She doesn't let herself be immersed in environments that hinder her growth or prevent her from being her best self. By curating her surroundings, whether it's her workspace, home, or social circles, she creates an environment that nourishes her energy and supports her goals. Protecting your energy also involves taking care of your physical health. Your physical body is the foundation of all your energy, and if you neglect it, you will ultimately feel drained. A high-value woman prioritizes exercise, nutrition, sleep, and rest to ensure that her body is operating at its optimal level. She understands that when her body is in balance, she has more energy to devote to her personal and professional life. She doesn't push herself to exhaustion or ignore the signals her body is giving her. Instead, she listens to her body, honors her needs, and takes the necessary steps to recharge and rejuvenate. In addition to physical care, mental and emotional self-care are also key components of protecting your energy. A high-value woman engages in activities that restore her inner peace, whether it's spending time in nature, practicing yoga, taking a relaxing bath, or simply having quiet moments alone. She recognizes the importance of taking time for herself to relax, recharge, and reflect. She knows that without this self-care, she cannot give her best to others or show up as her most vibrant self. Self-care is not an indulgence, but a necessity for maintaining her well-being and energy. Finally, protecting your energy means choosing to focus on what aligns with your purpose and goals. A high-value woman knows that her time and energy are limited, and she doesn't waste them on things that do not serve her higher purpose. She is intentional about where she invests her energy, ensuring that her actions and decisions align with her long-term vision. She is focused and driven, channeling her energy toward the things that matter most to her, whether that's her career, personal development, or relationships. She is clear about her priorities and doesn't allow distractions or external pressures to divert her from her path. Ultimately, protecting your energy is a powerful act of self-respect. It's about recognizing that you are worthy of peace, positivity, and vitality, and choosing to create an environment that supports your well-being. A high-value woman understands that she cannot pour from an empty cup, and by protecting her energy, she ensures that she has the strength and focus to show up as her best self in every aspect of her life. Protecting your energy is essential to maintaining a balanced and fulfilling life. In today's fast-paced world, it's easy to get swept up in the demands and expectations of others, leaving little room to focus on what truly matters to you. A high-value woman understands that her energy is one of her most valuable resources, and she guards it fiercely. She knows that the people, environments, and situations she engages with can either uplift or deplete her, and she makes conscious choices about where and with whom she invests her time and energy. This is not an act of selfishness, but rather an act of self-respect and self-preservation. Protecting your energy is about setting boundaries that allow you to thrive so you can show up as your best self in all areas of your life. The first step in protecting your energy is being aware of the sources of energy in your life. Everything and everyone around you has the potential to affect how you feel, whether positively or negatively. High-value women are keenly aware of the people who drain their energy and those who nourish it. This means recognizing relationships that are toxic, one-sided, or unfulfilling, and deciding to take action. It's easy to get caught up in relationships where you feel obligated to give, but a high-value woman knows that her worth is not determined by how much she sacrifices for others. She is discerning about who she allows into her inner circle and carefully selects people who support her goals, uplift her spirit, and encourage her to grow. This includes friendships, family relationships, and romantic partnerships. She understands that every person in her life should add value, and if they are consistently taking away from her energy without giving anything in return, she makes the difficult but necessary decision to distance herself. Equally important in protecting your energy is being mindful of your environment. The spaces you inhabit have a profound effect on your mental, emotional, and physical energy. A cluttered, chaotic environment can lead to feelings of stress, overwhelm, and fatigue. A high-value woman understands this and takes steps to create spaces that nourish her energy. She invests in her physical surroundings, ensuring that her home, workspace, and other environments reflect her values, inspire creativity, and promote calmness. Whether it's through maintaining a clean and organized home, incorporating natural elements like plants, or creating a peaceful atmosphere with calming colors and lighting, she designs spaces that support her well-being and help her recharge. She knows that a harmonious environment allows her to be more focused, productive, and at peace with herself. In addition to relationships and environments, the media and information you consume also play a significant role in shaping your energy. The world is filled with negative news, toxic social media, and content that can leave you feeling drained or disempowered. A high-value woman is selective about the information she absorbs. She is aware of how certain content makes her feel and actively chooses to disengage from negativity. She doesn't spend hours scrolling through social media accounts that make her feel inadequate, insecure, or upset. Instead, she focuses on consuming content that inspires, motivates, and educates. Whether it's books, podcasts, documentaries, or social media accounts that promote growth and positivity, she consciously chooses to expose herself to sources that enhance her life rather than detract from it. Another key element of protecting your energy is learning to say no. It's easy to fall into the trap of people-pleasing or overcommitting yourself, especially when you want to help others or avoid conflict. However, a high-value woman knows that her energy is limited and she cannot afford to spread herself thin. She is not afraid to say no to things that do not align with her values, goals, or well-being. Saying no is a powerful act of self-care and self-respect. It's about honoring your time and energy and protecting them from being drained by activities, obligations, or people who do not add value to your life. She understands that saying no is not an act of selfishness, but an affirmation of her worth and boundaries. By setting clear limits, she ensures that she has the space to focus on the things that truly matter. In addition to external factors, protecting your energy also involves managing your internal state. Your thoughts, emotions, and mindset have a profound impact on your energy levels. A high-value woman is conscious of the way she speaks to herself and the thoughts she allows to occupy her mind. Negative self-talk, self-doubt, and worry can all drain your energy and prevent you from reaching your full potential. Instead, a high-value woman practices mindfulness and positive thinking. She reframes negative thoughts and replaces them with empowering affirmations. She focuses on what she can control rather than dwelling on things that are outside her control. Through practices such as meditation, journaling, and gratitude, she nurtures a mindset that supports her growth and well-being. She recognizes that her internal dialogue can either lift her up or tear her down, and she chooses to cultivate a positive, empowering inner voice. Physical self-care is another vital aspect of protecting your energy. Your body is the vessel through which you experience life, and if you neglect your physical health, it can quickly deplete your energy. A high-value woman takes care of her body by prioritizing rest, exercise, and nutrition. She recognizes that when her body feels good, her energy levels are higher and she can show up with more vigor and enthusiasm. She engages in regular physical activity, whether it's through yoga, running, dancing, or strength training, and she ensures that she gets enough rest to recharge her body and mind. She also nourishes her body with healthy, nutritious food that fuels her energy and enhances her overall well-being. By making self-care a priority, she ensures that she has the vitality and stamina to pursue her goals with purpose and passion. Another important aspect of protecting your energy is developing emotional resilience. Life is full of ups and downs, and there will be times when things don't go as planned or when you face challenges that threaten to drain your energy. A high-value woman understands that resilience is key to maintaining her energy in the face of adversity. She develops the ability to bounce back from setbacks, stay calm in stressful situations, and maintain a positive outlook even when things get tough. She doesn't allow herself to be consumed by negative emotions like anger, frustration, or fear. Instead, she acknowledges her feelings, processes them, and then releases them, knowing that holding on to negative emotions will only drain her energy and prevent her from moving forward. She understands that emotional resilience is essential to protecting her energy and maintaining her sense of inner peace. Finally, protecting your energy is about staying aligned with your purpose and vision. When you are clear about what you want and where you are headed, it becomes easier to protect your energy because you know what is worth your time and attention.